First time to the track. That wrap turned out so nice. I was happy with it. Now I've got some news to share with you guys, and I figured I was going to make some videos before this ever became a thing. So, the WRX is gone. I completed it to where I wanted it, got it out to the track. It was driving pretty awesome. Pretty early on though, I realized the setup I did on it was never quite going to be ideal. Breaking parts, lighting on fire, also lighting on fire. Started to have a few issues here and there, and short of doing a full built short block, it wasn't going to be what I wanted. So I decided to start fresh. I decided to get something that I'm actually willing to invest in, and I'm not going to waste too much time. Here it is. So what you see here is a 92 Toyota JZX90 Chaser. It is an auto NA car, which hopefully we'll be able to rectify soon. The chassis itself is actually pretty good. The car has been stanced in the past, so the undercarriage isn't quite perfect, but I think we can rectify that. So right now we're kind of in the saving phase. I've been trying to fix a few little things here and there. Track down a center console for the manual swap that will be coming, and I am so excited. I've always been a big Toyota fan. You know, the WRX was always the cheap option. It was a chassis that I got for very little money, and I'm super happy with how it turned out for what it was. I'm glad I was able to do something different, something that not a lot of guys really do, if anyone. And you know, it's already been through a few owners since me, so it's probably headed to an early grave, but that's what happens when you sell modified cars. This one though, I don't think I'll be selling anytime soon. I am so excited looking at turbo setups. I've already got my eyes on a standalone manual swap. More details to come on that as parts hopefully start trickling in, but this is just going to be fantastic. Now the goal with this one's going to be a little less track ready, a little more high power street car. Not to say it won't have angle, not to say it won't get drifted, just it's not going to be a track whore like the other one was intended to be. Starting to get a little more mature and refined in my taste. So I am just absolutely over the moon for this thing. It will be awesome for what I'm trying to do. So why don't we take it on a drive? Let's get out of the driveway so it'll stop beeping. This thing always beeps in reverse, and it is not my favorite feature. So these cars have always been a little bit of a curiosity of mine. I'm not usually a big body car kind of guy, but I am a big guy, so having a sedan like this is actually pretty nice for me. Ugh. Suspension needs a little work. If you're not familiar with the JZX90, it, for lack of better terms, is a four-door Supra. It's a Supra you buy when your kids need to go to soccer practice. Obviously, the practical aspect of it is nice. I frankly have no use for it, but I can't afford a Supra. As much as I would love another Supra, it's not in the cards, not with these prices. So this version is going to have a naturally aspirated 1JZ. Still on the fence whether I want to swap in a turbo motor or if I want to just do an NAT, because these motors should still hold some power, and no one's really doing the NATs, so it'd be a fun little curiosity. Now, as far as power goals, I'm looking somewhere in the neighborhood of about 400 to 600. Not necessarily planning on building a bottom end, but we'll see how it progresses. And yeah, I mean, these things are just so darn nice, and they take the power great. They did come factory manual, so the swap, while not cheap, should at least be straightforward. A lot of guys are doing it. And it'll just be a fun little learning curve. I haven't really done any heavy modification on anything outside of Subarus. As much as I would have loved to build my old Supra or build my old Toyota pickup, it just hasn't really been a thing. I never had the finances, I never had the skill, and the WRX was a good little learning curve. Now, more on that car. I loved it. It was so much fun. But between the external wastegate, just the way the chassis was set up, it drifted well. It just was not a street car, and it had a few fire issues. I'll see if I can find some of my old photos of the first fire up on it. I wish I would have filmed more with that car, but I just never got around to it. And when I decided to get rid of it, it was more on a whim than anything. Let's see, we good? Sorry, we got a trash truck in front of us. There we go. Yeah, this thing so far has actually been pretty okay. The motor seems healthy, the transmission's having problems, and the ECU on especially these older Toyotas is pretty notorious for having capacitors explode inside of it. Unfortunately, this car was a pretty substantial victim. So there's a few things like the tachometer not working right, the speedo doesn't work right, the car doesn't automatically shift, hence why you see me moving around. It's not because I like manually shifting autos, it's because I don't get a choice. Otherwise, I'm just in third gear all the time. So that's where this thing's at. Now, I did straight up trade. I wish I would have gotten cash on top, but sometimes for the car you want, the deal doesn't always work out perfect. Yeah, I'm super stoked with this thing. I mean, you can probably hear me talk pretty clearly in it. It's super quiet. Cruise is smooth. Now that the tranny isn't slipping like it was, it seems like I'm actually doing pretty well on the street. So that's where I've been at. Also, I don't know if you noticed the Washington plate, no more Idaho. I've been up here about 2 years, and the lifestyle change was definitely a big reason why I haven't been uploading. Not that there's enough of you to really notice, but yeah, we're having some fun up here. I'll have to show off the Supermoto as soon as we get back. That's been one of my other projects lately, and that one turned out awesome. It's just an absolute riot. Got a little Grom too, still on the fence whether I'm keeping it or not, but whether or not I do, it's fun. So that is pretty much what I've been up to. So moving forward, hopefully there's going to be a lot more uploads. Hopefully there's going to be a lot more action. The roommate's Integra is all boosted up. We'll have to do a feature on that thing. It is an absolute animal. My other roommate is driving a nice little 240 with a 180 kit on it. That one's going to be getting boosted here pretty soon. So we'll see if we can bring you along on that journey. Show you just what kind of crazy stuff we come up with. But that's about all the updates I have for right now. So why don't we pull back into the house, show off the Supermoto a little bit, and we will go from there. Just kidding. This thing's gutless. I know it wasn't much, but no sense being an asshole to the neighbors. Anyway, that's the fleet right now. That's what I'm doing, and I really do hope to bring some more content. But for now, I think this has gone on long enough. Y'all have a good day.